Hi, it's Alaska Granny. Finally, the snow is melting. I can get back out to Granny Camp. I came out here last week and I put up my portable greenhouse. I got a few things planted in here, but they're not doing very well because the wind has been blowing like crazy. Everything is all dried out and it's just been some still crazy spring weather. The leaves are just starting to come out. There's nearly 20 hours of daylight, and Alaska is just a fantastic place to be this time of year. You can see there's a lot of cleaning up to do in Granny Camp, but I'm looking forward to a nice full summer of spending time out here at my Alaska off-grid cabin. I'm looking forward to spending a lot of time out here at Granny Camp, hiking around in the woods, growing things in the greenhouse, and really just spending time with nature. I love being out in the woods. I love being able to see the animals in the woods, and it just fills up my soul and makes me happy. So this is probably one of the happiest places on earth for me, is spending time at Granny Camp. It is a little different this year though, because now I'm alone. My sweetheart has passed on, and so that does make planning a little bit different. I wanted to show you today the food stockpile that I'm packing up for basics that I'm going to have for spending a few months out at Granny Camp. And no, I won't be out there the whole entire time. I'll be coming and going between my home, spending time with my grandchildren, and who knows, maybe even go on a vacation or two. It's food that can last for a long time, and I can have it out there for all of the many months of summer until it gets too cold and I close it down next fall. I do always try to make sure that the foods that I bring out to Granny Camp are in airtight containers or in cans or packages, or seal them up some way to try to keep all the aromas away, because there are a lot of critters in the woods, and so I need to make sure I'm not attracting bugs, squirrels, voles, anything. There's all kinds of things. Even bears might want to break in if they can smell things, and I don't want that. So you always want to be careful when you're out in the woods that you store your food as carefully as possible so you don't have unanticipated visitors. Sometimes we think that we're prepping to keep things away from marauders, and they can be the animals if you're not careful where you store your food. So this is a stockpile I have. Let me just go through it with you and show you the things that I have so you can get an idea of what could be a couple months worth of food you might want to have. Just basic food that I could open it and eat it, cook a few things on a camp stove, and hardly any work at all. And that is the whole purpose of my spending time in the out of doors. I'm not going out there so I can start cooking gourmet meals. And yes, I will have some other foods, but these are just the long-term foods that I'm planning to have out there and store it well so that the food stays safe while I'm there. Starting in no particular order, I have some canned goods. I have some canned soups, different varieties. I have some canned vegetables, mixed vegetable medley, some green beans, canned potatoes, then for some ready-to-eat meals, I have a couple cans of chili, and I have some ravioli. Then I have a variety of beans. Here's some pinto beans, some baked beans, some ranch style beans. These are kind of chili spicy. They're pretty good. If you see them and you haven't tried them, take one home and check it out. Maybe you'll like it and want to get more, but just buy one if you're not sure what it is. I have some refried beans. I have a can of garbanzo beans, some tomatoes, and then some canned meat. I have pink salmon, which I like a lot. I have canned chicken that I also like a lot. And not so much my favorites, but they're foods I need to rotate. So I have a can of ham and 2 cans of tuna. Next, I have some jars of food. I have jars that I bought the food in the jar, and also dried foods that I'm storing in jars because they're airtight container. I have some spaghetti noodles. I have a jar of rice. Then I have some pasta sauce to go with the spaghetti. I have some minute brown rice. Brown rice takes a long time to cook, but the minute right doesn't, and so that's why I have the instant brown rice. I also have some Alfredo sauce, a jar of tea bags, a jar of jam and peanut butter, some green salsa. Then I have a jar that I filled up with Taco Bell mild sauce because I love this stuff and it'll go with my refried beans. And when you go there, you just ask for some and they'll give it to you, and then I save it up. I have a loaded potato soup that's a dry mix that I'm storing in a jar so that nothing can get into it. And I do this normally at home anyway, just to keep things out of food, and then it helps it last a few extra years. I have a jar of powdered milk. This is the Nido Fortificata. That's my favorite powdered milk, and it stirs easily into water. And I just put on here 1/4 cup of powder plus 1 cup of water, and you have a cup of milk. I have some packages of macaroni and cheese that there's a couple of them in here. I think 2 fit in here. And you just stick them into like a Ziploc bag. From the box, the package of the noodles plus the cheese powder, and that'll store for a few extra years like that. I did the same thing with the Suddenly salad. I have the noodles and the spice pack in a jar. I have a jar of pickles, sweet pickles, and a jar of broccoli that I dehydrated. I have some packaged foods that I'm going to need to make sure I put into a hard-sided container when I get out there. I have teriyaki rice, red beans and rice, Mexican rice, and then I have some flavored pastas. There's chicken, what's this one? Butter and herbs, and the Knorr Power Rice Blend. Now these have dates on them. You can see these are 21, 22. I've had them stored in an airtight container, and it's time to rotate them. So why not take them to Granny Camp? It's perfect. They've all been fine. I don't have any worries about them not being safe to eat. I have a package of dried bananas. These are really good. It's hard to get good fresh bananas in Alaska, and so I've been buying these, and they're really good. And then I can always have the flavorful good banana whenever I want one. Then, oh yeah, all good Alaskans have Sailor Boy pilot bread. Now if you're not familiar with pilot bread, which I was surprised one of my neighbors was asking about this the other day, they're like a big hard cracker, and they don't break. They're unsalted, they're pretty hard, and you can put just about anything on them that you want. Let me show you what they look like. See how it's a big hard cracker, but they're really good. They're basically flour and water, and so they're harder than, say, a saltine, but you can make a cheese sandwich, you can turn it into a little pizza. Anything you could put on a sandwich, you can put on pilot bread. They're delicious. I did make a video a few years ago about different things you could use the pilot bread for, and I'll put a link to that video in case you want to see some other ideas on how you might want to serve pilot bread. I'll need to put that into, like I said, a hard-sided container, because leaving foods around in just paper packages or plastic bags is not going to keep your food safe. But I have some containers already out at Granny Camp. Next, I have some foods I put in Mylar bags. Now these do not have oxygen absorbers. These aren't for the long haul. These are just extra airtight containers, and I like these because they have a zip top feature, but they're scent proof. And so I have oatmeal in this one, and see, you can just squeeze out the air, seal it up tight, and you can see they're really very sturdy. And then they're going to eliminate any odors, but I'm also going to put these into a hard-sided container at Granny Camp. So I have a bag of oatmeal, I have a bag of egg noodles, and I have a bag of Honey Nut Cheerios. So they're great. You can open them up, take a little out, and then seal it back up, and these are very sturdy Mylar bags. These are also great for long term. You could drop in an oxygen absorber, not with these two kinds of foods, Cheerios and egg noodles. You can't store for long term, but you can foods like oatmeal, beans, rice, pasta, all kinds of other foods. These are great for that as well. Then there's a few things that are, in my mind, essentials. I have a couple rolls of toilet paper. I have some snack size Ziploc bags. I brought these up from the Dollar Tree in the lower 48, and they're going out to Granny Camp. Then I also have gallon-sized Ziploc bags that I also bought at Dollar Tree on one of my trips to the lower 48. We don't have Dollar Tree in Alaska, so I like to bring those things home with me. And I have a few straws because I enjoy using them. Come on, Teddy. Come on, Teddy. Come on. Up, up. Yeah. So that's your first look around at Granny Camp 2023. It's going to be a wonderful summer. It'll be different, but it's going to be a lot of fun. So I hope that you will enjoy the adventures and you'll come along with me and watch my videos. I hope you'll like my video, share them, and if you have any other suggestions on what you think should go in a food kit, put it in the comments below so we can learn from each other. Please subscribe to the Alaska Granny channel.